On the night of Akrutik's Gengar festival, when spirits roam and legends come to life, young Kai uncovers a haunting truth. His Gengar possesses a rare spectral gift. Thrust into a whirlwind of ghostly whispers and shadowy mysteries, they must navigate a labyrinth of lost souls and buried secrets. In a race against time, Kai and Gengar delve into the heart of ancient curses and restless spirits, seeking to mend a rift a century in the making. Join them on this spine-tingling adventure where every shadow holds a story and the line between the living and the dead is as thin as a wisp of mist. Chapter 1. The festival begins. In the heart of a quaint town, nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, the annual Gengar festival was about to commence. As dusk painted the sky in shades of purple and orange, the streets came alive with a carnival of colors and sounds. Lanterns, glowing with ethereal lights, lined the pathways, casting a gentle glow on the faces of townsfolk donning ghost-themed costumes. Kai, a spirited young Pokemon trainer, felt the excitement bubbling within as he adorned his loyal Gengar with a playful spectral scarf. Gengar's eyes sparkled with mischief, its grin wider than usual in anticipation of the night's festivities. Together they joined the throngs of people and Pokemon in the town square, where the parade was to start. The parade was a mesmerizing display of ghost-type Pokemon, each accompanied by their trainers. Spectral flames danced along the procession, casting otherworldly shadows. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and Pokemon cries, blending with the rhythmic beats of ghostly music. Lanterns shaped like Pokeballs and haunters floated overhead, their glow pulsating to the music's rhythm. As the night deepened, however, a subtle shift began to occur. A cold wind whispered through the streets, sending shivers down the spines of the revelers. Objects seemed to move of their own accord. A cup here, a hat there, almost imperceptibly. Whispers, barely audible over the din of the celebration, rustled the leaves of the trees lining the streets. Kai noticed Gengar's attention fixated on these peculiar occurrences. The usually playful Pokemon now exuded an air of concentration, its gaze following the fleeting shadows that darted in and out of the corners. Kai felt a mix of intrigue and unease, a sense that this festival night held more than just celebrations. As they moved through the crowded streets, the mysterious incidents grew more frequent. A banner fluttered as if touched by an unseen hand, and a chill breeze swept through a street where the air had been still moments before. The townsfolk began to notice, their cheerful chatter turning into murmurs of speculation and concern. Kai, with a sense of adventure stirring within, decided to investigate. With Gengar by his side, they delved deeper into the heart of the town, away from the bright lights and music of the festival. In the dimly lit back streets, where the veil between the mundane and mystical seemed thinner, they sought to uncover the source of the peculiar happenings that had begun to unfold on this otherwise joyous night. The chapter ends with Kai and Gengar standing at the edge of an ancient cobblestone alley, where the whispers seemed to converge and the shadows danced with more intent. The Gengar festival, a night of jubilation, was about to reveal a hidden side, one that twined the past with the present, the living with the spirits, and for Kai and Gengar, the adventure was just beginning. Chapter 2. Unearthed Legends. The narrow alleyway, embraced by the creeping ivy and cobblestones worn smooth by time, was a stark contrast to the festival's vibrancy. Kai and Gengar ventured cautiously, guided only by the flickering light of Kai's lantern and Gengar's glowing eyes. The further they went, the more pronounced the strange occurrences became. Shadows seemed to move with a life of their own, and the air was thick with an unspoken history. At the end of the alley, they found themselves in front of an old, time-worn building that seemed to sag under the weight of its untold stories. The town's elder, a figure of wisdom and knowledge, resided here. The old man, with his silver hair and eyes that sparkled with memories of yesteryears, greeted them with a knowing smile. "Ah, Kai, I see the spirits have caught your attention this fine night," he said in a voice as old as the creaking floorboards. Kai explained the unusual events they had witnessed. The elder's eyes gleamed with a mixture of excitement and solemnity as he began to unravel the tale. "Many generations ago," he started, "our town was home to a treasure, an artifact of great power and significance. But it was betrayed, lost in the winds of time, leaving behind spirits bound to our world, unable to find peace." The elder's voice seemed to echo the sorrow of the story he told. Kai listened, enraptured. The thought that his beloved town held such a secret history was both thrilling and unsettling. Gengar, too, seemed to be listening intently, its usual playful demeanor replaced by a quiet seriousness. "The spirits you see," the elder continued, "are those bound souls. On the night of the Gengar festival, when the veil is thinnest, they make themselves known, seeking someone to help them find peace." Kai felt a sense of purpose stirring within him. "How can we help them?" he asked, determination lacing his voice. The elder handed Kai an old leather-bound book. "This has been in my family for generations, a collection of lore and legends about our town and the lost treasure. It might hold the answers you seek." As Kai and Gengar left the elder's house, the book in hand, they felt as though they were stepping not just into the night, but into history itself. They began their journey back into town, their path illuminated by the lantern and the full moon above. The town square, still alive with the festival's remnants, now held a different meaning for Kai. Every laugh, every cheer was a reminder of the unseen spirits yearning for release. Kai opened the book and began to read by the lantern's light, Gengar peering over his shoulder. The book spoke of legends, riddles, and a map that hinted at the artifact's location. Their adventure was taking shape, a journey to uncover a lost treasure and bring peace to restless spirits. As they delved into the book's cryptic pages, the festival around them continued in blissful ignorance of the mystery unfolding in their midst. The chapter closes with Kai and Gengar, their resolve strengthened by the elder's story, preparing to embark on a quest that would bridge the gap between the living and the spirits, a quest that would unearth the long-buried secrets of their town. Chapter 3. Whispers from Beyond. Under the ghostly luminescence of the full moon, Kai and Gengar, armed with the ancient book, ventured into the heart of the mystery. The book's pages, yellowed with age, whispered secrets in cryptic verses and riddles, leading them to the oldest part of the town. This forgotten quarter, with its cobwebbed corners and ivy-clad walls, felt like stepping into another era. As they navigated the narrow, winding streets, the air grew colder, and an ethereal mist began to rise from the ground. It swirled around their feet, as if guiding them further into the labyrinth of old buildings. Gengar's presence seemed to act as a beacon, attracting faint, ghostly apparitions that flickered at the edge of Kai's vision. In a secluded courtyard, surrounded by ancient oaks, they found the first real clue. A statue of a Gengar, its stone eyes seeming to watch over the area, stood in the center. The book's riddle led Kai to inspect the statue, revealing a hidden compartment containing a fragment of an old map and a cryptic inscription. As Gengar reached out to touch the map, a sudden gust of wind stirred the leaves around them, and a chorus of whispers filled the air. Kai felt a shiver run down his spine. Through Gengar, the restless spirits began to communicate, their voices a blend of sadness and hope. The spirits spoke of the night the treasure was lost, of betrayal by one they trusted, and of the artifact's power to bridge the living and the dead. They pleaded with Kai and Gengar to find the treasure and restore it to its rightful place, believing that this would grant them the peace they had been denied for so long. Kai, deeply moved by the spirit's plight, promised to help them. The fragment of the map, though incomplete, hinted at the treasure's location, being somewhere near the town's old cemetery, a place where the past lay sleeping under a blanket of silence and stone. The journey to the cemetery was one of contemplation for Kai. The responsibility of the task at hand weighed on him, yet there was an unspoken bond of trust between him and Gengar, a bond that had only strengthened since the festival began. The cemetery gates loomed in the moonlight, their ironwork twisted into intricate designs. Inside, the gravestones stood like silent guardians of history, each bearing the name of those long past. The map fragment led them to an ancient mausoleum, its doors sealed with an emblem that matched the inscription they found earlier. Kai and Gengar worked together, solving the riddle of the emblem, which caused the mausoleum doors to creak open slowly, revealing a staircase spiraling down into darkness. As they descended, the whispers of the spirits grew louder, echoing off the stone walls, guiding them deeper into the mystery. The chapter concludes with Kai and Gengar standing at the threshold of a hidden underground chamber, the air thick with the anticipation of revelations yet to come. Here, in the heart of the earth, lay the answers they sought, and perhaps the key to giving the restless spirits the peace they longed for. Chapter 4. The Treasure Revealed. The underground chamber, revealed by the ancient mausoleum's opening, was a cavern of echoes and shadows. Kai and Gengar descended the spiral staircase, each step resonating through the silence of the forgotten space. The air was cool and still, as if undisturbed for centuries. As they reached the chamber floor, their footsteps echoed off the walls, adorned with faded murals depicting the history of the town and its once celebrated treasure. In the faint light, images of prosperity, harmony, and eventual betrayal played out in silent, stony whispers. At the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, and upon it lay the artifact, an intricately carved gemstone, pulsating with a spectral light. Kai approached the pedestal with a mix of awe and reverence. The gemstone, glowing softly in the dim light, seemed to resonate with Gengar's presence. The spirit's whispers intensified, converging around Kai and Gengar, their spectral forms more defined now, as if drawn to the artifact's energy. As Kai reached out to touch the gemstone, a surge of energy filled the chamber. The spirits swirled around them in a vortex of light and shadow, their voices harmonizing in a crescendo of release. Gengar, acting as the conduit between the living and the dead, channeled the energy, guiding the spirits towards peace. The chamber lit up with an ethereal glow, and the spirits, one by one, began to fade into the light, their whispers turning into sighs of relief and gratitude. The betrayal they had suffered, the centuries of unrest, all were washed away in the radiance of the gemstone. With the spirit's departure, the gemstone's light dimmed, its purpose fulfilled. Kai carefully wrapped the artifact in a cloth, knowing it was not just a treasure, but a symbol of closure and reconciliation. As they ascended back to the surface, the first rays of dawn were breaking over the horizon. The town, still asleep, was unaware of the significant events that had transpired beneath their feet. Kai and Gengar emerged from the cemetery, the early morning light casting long shadows on the ground. The town square, now devoid of the festival's remnants, was peaceful. The whispers of the night had ceased, replaced by the gentle sounds of the morning. Returning the gemstone to the town's elder, Kai recounted the night's events. The elder, tears in his eyes, thanked them for bringing peace to the town's long-troubled past. The gemstone would be placed in the town museum, a reminder of the town's history and the night when a young trainer and their Gengar bridged the world of the living and the spirits. As Kai and Gengar walked through the awakening town, a new sense of understanding and connection to their home filled them. They had not only solved a century-old mystery, but had also forged a deeper bond with each other and the spirits they had helped. The story ends with Kai and Gengar watching the sunrise from a hill overlooking the town, the events of the night now memories that would be passed down through generations. In the light of the new day, the night of the Gengar festival was no longer just a celebration, but a symbol of unity and the unbreakable bonds that transcend worlds.